For our final part of the crow's discussion, we will now do a trance journey that will allow you to connect directly with crow energy and put you in contact with crow as one of your spirit or animal guides. I would like to remind you of some basic rules when working with an animal guide, and that is you always pause and honor the space where you find that animal in your mind and watch for every single thing it does to indicate what it is that you need to do. We are cautioned to remember that we must pay attention to the animal in the external world in order to have a connection with it in the internal world. So if you've had several encounters with any animal, including a crow, in a short space of time, that animal is trying to speak to you and wants you to know its rhythms. It wants you to know its habits. It wants you to know its habitat and all about when it's birth, when it's born, and when it dies. It wants to be able to bless your life and guide your life and to contribute to your well-being. There's no evil in the animals or the animal world itself. That is only the idea of error inside of you. So you must look to your higher self to find greater consciousness around things that seem ordinary and do not normally fit into the scope of the status quo of how we see and understand ourselves. Now that I've said all of that, we shall now reclaim our childhood using the crow and hence the raven too. Keep in mind that these are power animals that come out of the void and show us the way into magical revelations and manifestations of that which we desire. I want you to let your eyes go closed and listen to the sound of my voice. I will now tune us in using the crow chordal. Crow makes a noise that sounds something like a little joke going on in its throat. And I want you to listen for that now and look into the darkness that is yourself, which is the universe at large. And I want you, as you stand in the middle of this great darkness on no platform, to surround yourself now with a bubble of protection that is transparent and that you can look out into the night and see through. In the distance, you begin to see a great many stars, and your body is now dropped away from your mind and the soul that you are. You are light as a feather, and at the thought of the feather, a black crow feather appears in your right hand. Hold your crow feather by the tip of the feather and blow air through the feather. 3 breaths of air through the feather take you moving forward along the stream that your breath laid out for you. It's like the jet stream of an airplane. You're flying forward now through time, forward from the present that you have been living in, into your great distant future where you are altogether different than you are here. You change now into a giant crow, as large as a huge eagle, with black spread wings and talons on your feet, and you can see back through time, look down through the void, stop and hesitate, hover at the great distance that you are, and look back down the corridors of time at who you've been. Look back through the corridors of time as to where you are coming from. Look back at your current present, back behind that to your distant past when you were not the person you are, when you are not the name that you know yourself by. Assume silence now in that recognition. And now the crow call comes to you because you are being called by crow to know more, to be more, to transcend the way you think about things. Ah, 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 ah. Crow calls to you. It calls to you to know the magic that is the universe, that things work in uncanny, unfathomable, inscrutable ways. Things come together by means you cannot begin to know. Allow it. You have now been summoned to crow magic. Good. And you fly further, deeper into the void. And underneath you comes yet another crow. The crow of all crows, the great black wing of the universe itself, buoys you up and carries you along as you see universes of stars and moons and planetary bodies. You see asteroids and you see nova and you see nebula unfolding in their great spectacular colors of magenta and turquoise, yellow and white light. Faster and faster you go into the nothingness and you surrender your entire being to become one with all there is in the darkness. Allow that to be. Let yourself surrender to what you don't know. Allow yourself to stop worrying over what you don't know and you can't fix. Release the power of your hands and your mind to the infinite. This is a consciousness shift. You shift consciousness here, now. Allow yourself to be free of your worry. Remember that you are a mighty, creative being. You are brother and sister to the crow. Oh, 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 oh. Turn now. You turn on a dime. The great being underneath you as a crow is bringing you back to this moment, swiftly, quickly, into this room. And now you release your body that is the crow's body and drop back down into your own physical human self. You take a breath in through your nose and you let it out through your mouth. Take a breath in through your nose and you let it out through your mouth. Take one last breath, deep and complete, and let it out through your mouth. You have been with Crow. There is a gift that you have received of knowing. You are now alert. You are now tuned in. You are now awake to something more than you have known ever before. I give this as a gift of my gift that has been given from the Great One. I transfer this power of knowing to your knowing. May the gifts and the understanding grow exponentially before your eyes. May you report to me that you found new paths, new ways, and new knowing from Crow. And we come back out with the chordal. And we say, thank you, Divine One, for the magic of Crow. And now I invite you to be still and let that settle in. Contract your body back into your feet, your knees, your backbone. Send yourself to your solar plexus chakra. Sit down. Ground your feet into the earth. Connect yourself to a tree through the roots that come out of your feet. You are earthbound, but yet you are star child and child of Crow, brother and sister to Crow. I offer you a crow feather of initiation. I, the Oracle, offer you a crow feather of initiation. And so it is. You may open your eyes.